everybody, I'm Sunshine Flying, you can call me Tia, and today we are back with another Renovation Wednesday. You guys have said in the comments that you really enjoy watching them, so I'm back at it with some more. Today we are in the Culpepper apartments. We will be doing the month of June basically in the Culpepper apartments, starting with number 17 today. So, one of the things that I really wanted to do in the Culpepper building specifically is try a whole bunch of new styles. And what I mean by this is, looking back, I realized that there were a bunch of apartments in the past couple of months that looked pretty similar. And, well, yes, it's true. I do have a certain build style and aesthetic that I tend to stick to. I also want to get outside of that. I want to branch outside of my usual, and I want to grow as a builder. And, I think it's important to, try new things, get out of my comfort zone, and really just see what else is out there, see what other items are in the game. And I've done this on stream, challenging myself to use only certain packs, allowing people in my stream to challenge me to only use specific packs. And so part of what I'm going to do is set in certain vibes or aesthetics for the different apartments that I renovate here. And so today we are starting in 17 Culpepper House, and what I'm really going for here is not necessarily a certain age group, but a certain kind of vibe. And really what I'm going for here is kind of like a boho plant lover's dream house. And when I say plant lover's dream house, I mean plant lover's dream house. They got the okay to put in a mini garden in their own apartment. There's a little bit of fencing, there's tarp down, there's astroturf, and then there's planters on the ground. That kind of okay to start a garden in their apartment. Now, that'll be one of the last things that we put in, but now you've got something to look forward to. Now, of course, one of the most predictable things about apartments is they start out looking kind of boring. Now, that bathroom did not start out looking boring. Let's be real here. That started out colorful. So I really wanted to go back into the kitchen and its grays, its whites, it's, dull. And so I started with bare bones, just kind of countertops, appliances, and I had a slightly different approach to this build than I have to ones in the past, just because, I've been experimenting to see, what different building methods work better for me too. I'm learning a lot by watching other people build on Twitch. So here I am just kind of laying out the basics and then kind of deciding, how much am I going to kind of clutter it up before I move on to the next room. And so I kind of go back and forth here because, as you can see, I didn't really clutter up the kitchen. I go back and forth between the different rooms a little bit. And I guess you could say this is kind of more of a collegiate vibe. There's pennants on the wall, but this definitely works for any sort of young adult sim. But there's definitely plants everywhere. This sim loves their greenery. I would definitely put a sim here who loves gardening, loves the outdoors, loves plants, that sort of stuff. And it's probably one of the most colorful builds I've ever made in my life. So, yeah, I used a lot of objects I've never used before. I specifically looked for colors and bright objects. Tapestries on the walls, colorful rugs, colorful wall decorations, colorful wallpapers, and just lots of plants. And it actually, okay, the window bugged out here and I was trying so hard to fix it. I couldn't get it to stop showing the bricks through the window. So my apologies, you're just gonna kind of have to deal with it here. And I did fiddle with the countertops a lot here as well, wanting to kind of get them to do the countertops and these flowers here. They wouldn't quite do what I wanted them to do, but in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I hope that you are too. I think it's something unique, something that I definitely haven't done before, especially the plants on top of the cabinets. And I'm just really happy with how it turned out. And I also had a lot of fun filling up the countertops with a bunch of clutter. I'm really trying to learn to be better with clutter, finding that balance between too much and not enough. I think there's definitely builds where having little to no clutter really, really works, but I did not think that this build was one of those. This build, I think, was meant for a lot of clutter, and that a lot of that clutter should be plants. So I really just took the time and filled them up, really, and a lot of alt placing, a lot of move objects on. Tried to make sure if there was a countertop that was filled with clutter that it had plants on it as well. My rule of thumb was just like a plant on every cluttered countertop. And I love how it turned out, honestly, and I discovered even some clutter that I didn't really know existed. And in the end, it was kind of hard to decide which counter I would take stuff off of because, you know, the Sims needed somewhere to actually prepare their food. So I did, in the end, get rid of some of the clutter that I put out there. And overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really glad I found those letters that go on the corner by the mug tree. And it looks a lot like how my house does, with just kind of the letters lingering there on the counter, needing to be dealt with, but not being dealt with. And the table will go back eventually, but I really wanted to deal with the rest of the space first. And lots of plants in the bedroom as well, both on the wallpaper and on the dresser and all over. Try to clutter up the desk a little bit. And honestly, this was so outside my comfort zone, but so much fun to make. And, you know, of course, I find ways to even work plants into the living room, and it's so green and so cozy, and it's full, but not in a way that feels cramped. It's full in a way that feels cozy and nice, and, you know, I hope that you feel the same way. And one other thing that I do want to mention that has come up in comments in other renovation videos that I have done is that these apartments, they are not on the gallery right now. But, however, my goal is to renovate every apartment in San Myshuno and also do a build of every non-apartment lot in San Myshuno, whether it be the like bars or restaurants or what have you, and have a save file that you can download that just has all of the renovated apartments and all of these save files that you can install. None of the other worlds will be affected or have any lots on them, so you don't have to worry about that at all. It shouldn't interfere with any of those, but if you are interested in that, keep an eye out. When I do finish San Myshuno, I will be sharing that, and then I'll also be sharing when I finish with Evergreen Harbor. Otherwise, each of these worlds that I slowly but surely make over will be going towards my eventual save file that I will be sharing out once I have renovated homes in every single world, which will be a very, very long time from now. Probably not for like a year or two, but a save file with just the apartment renovations is coming. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on Friday.